All right. Hey guys, Alex here. Someone in the comments had already made mention of Alex Azor, SteelersDepot.com here doing our Sunday mock draft with you guys. Did this a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I think, and had a lot of fun with it. You guys seem to really like it, and so I wanted to bring this back here to pass the time on a lazy Sunday. So glad you guys are here. Let me know if there's any audio issues and if I sound okay in the chat below. Appreciate you guys being here again. We'll be using the same site we used last time, Fanspeak, to do a mock draft through their simulator. Benor, what's up? Glad to have you here. Same with it's Aiden and Eric and Chester, Gabriel. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll start the mock draft process here in a couple minutes. We'll kind of give it a couple to let people see the stream live and get some people here in the chat. Mark, happy Sunday to you as well. Any Pittsburgh sports fans watching the Pirates beat up on the Orioles 10-1 in spring training right now? So again, we'll do this crowdsourced mock draft. I'll try to make it a little bit different than the last one, so we're not, doing the same exact picks, and we can do trades and just kind of see where this one goes here in Fanspeak on the clock. And I'll be doing this for Steelers Depot in probably about a week or so with our annual mock draft off season, where I go through free agency and mock draft to kind of go through an entire off season and just see how I do as a Kevin Colbert. Mark, anything expected of the Pirates this year? No, expectations could not be lower. Just hoping some of the young guys like Mitch Keller and Key Brian Hayes, emerge. That's probably the expectation right now. Steve, thanks for being here as well. We'll get started with the mock draft here in just a moment or two. I'll let the chat fill up a little bit more. Be here for probably about an hour. I think the last mock draft took about 60, 75 minutes to complete with some trades and discussions. And obviously, you guys will be my scouts here. And we'll go ahead and draft here for the Steelers. John says, mock draft the safety from Arkansas. I don't know if I know the safety from Arkansas. I was just looking at Arkansas prospects yesterday because they're pro days this week. They had a couple defensive linemen, I think Williams and Kelly, a couple interior 1-3 tech types. Not a lot of production, but some size there. But I don't think I know the safety from Arkansas, John. Eric saying the trade he did with the Lions, Steelers get number 7. The Lions get top 2 this year and a 6 in a first rounder next year. Seems a lot for Trey Lance. Yeah, but go in the top 10 for a quarterback, it's going to be expensive. And if you think Trey Lance or any quarterback is the guy, then it's hard to overpay because if you hit it right, then no one cares about what you gave up. The Chiefs traded a decent amount for Patrick Mahomes. They traded with the Bills, and no one cares what the Chiefs gave up to get Patrick Mahomes because it was obviously, undoubtedly, the right decision. Paul, thanks for being here. 43 people here in the chat, so we'll get started here in just a moment to begin our mock draft, where again, you guys are my scouts, and we will build this thing together for the Pittsburgh Steelers. See Bizzle Nizzle, happy Sunday. After high school show also here, so let's get started, and I'm sure more people will come in, and so we'll just start with the basic settings here, choosing the Steelers as the team we'll mock draft with. Again, we are using Fanspeak's mock draft simulator. Of course, we're going to do all 7 rounds. For the big board, I don't really have a preference. I'll probably just go with the most updated one. I can preview here with the Jets Hub. If anyone knows what board I should use, I just want one with a lot of different prospects. It doesn't have, 200 prospects because that's kind of a short list. This one has 400. I changed the latency of this stream as well, so hopefully you guys, there's less of a lag from me talking and seeing the chat. So hopefully that makes our communication and drafting a little bit better. But I'll click around. Jets Hub is fine. See what this one has. 420. I'm just going to use this one. This is Fanspeak, Steve Shoop. Ski G says need a receiver and tight end in this mock. Yeah, definitely want to take a tight end, probably a receiver as well. If Juju walks, then in reality and for future mocks, then there'll be a receiver taken sooner than later. The Yorkster says, love you, Alex. My dad introduced me to you. He's Johnny Johnson Anderson on Facebook. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know him. We're Facebook friends, so that's cool. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Hayden, as well. You guys want Jet Sub? I don't know if it really matters. All right, we'll just choose Jets up. And then team needs doesn't really matter. And pick order should be the official draft order. I don't know why it's different. And we'll always go with difficult. So get ready to start the draft here in just a second. But let me ask you this first before we start the draft: is should we trade up? Do you guys think we should trade up? And basically, if you're moving up in this draft, it's going to be for a quarterback. I know Eric talked about moving up with the Lions, who, funny enough, Pittsburgh traded with Detroit to get Devin Bush a couple years ago. But should we consider trading up for a quarterback at number 24? Paul says try to trade. Aiden says sure, trade sometimes. Below says no trading up. All right, we're going to try to. So we'll probably start looking at moving up around pick 8 to 10, depending on where these quarterbacks go. Because if it's, I'm of the opinion that basically there are two quarterbacks in this draft you have to really earnestly consider. Because the top three guys are very likely to be gone. You're talking Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. I think the guys from 6 and beyond, the Kyle Trasks, the Kevin Newmans, or the Kevin Newmans, I'm watching the Pirates, Jamie Newman, Kellen Mond, those guys aren't franchise guys that I would personally consider. I think there's a chance the Steelers like Kyle Trask. That seems to be the rumor right now. Let's hope not. But really, it comes down to two names: Trey Lance and Mac Jones. Are those guys potentially franchise worthy? If they are, then you have to really make a move for them if you're the Steelers, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and start the draft. Oh, it was Denver. You're right, Shaquille. I apologize. I was getting my teams mixed up there. It was with the Broncos, not with the because they ended up taking Noah Fant. And right off the bat here, there's a trade offer. We're getting one from Washington football team to move up 5 spots, give up a second. That seems like a pretty poor deal. And with the Bengals moving back out of the first round to get their second round pick and their third round pick. That's a better offer, but I don't think I would probably do either of those deals right now. But what do you guys think? I definitely do not want to do the Washington deal because I'm probably going to want to trade up more and get up higher than what Washington is at right now. Yeah, Jaheim, I like Kyle Trask to an extent. I compared him to Nick Foles, but he's not a franchise quarterback to me, so I would just wouldn't take him right now. Everyone's saying decline. Okay, fair enough. I'm with you. So I'm going to go through probably the first 5 picks of the first round, and then we'll see kind of just where the quarterbacks are at, and we'll start talking about and walking through um, should we explore trading up for a quarterback. And again, top quarterbacks in this class, you got Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, Lance, Jones. Those are your guys who are very likely to go in the first round. Yeah, Valor, I think we should kind of see how this draft lays out before we start trading up or trading down. I'm with you. All right, so we'll go ahead and start. The picks will come up here. I don't think I can control the speed of the draft, so they kind of come pretty rapid fire. Lawrence, Fields, and Chase. All right, I'm going with top 6 there. So there is your top 6. Only 2 quarterbacks have gone. Lawrence, of course, won to Jacksonville. Fields, maybe a surprise here to the Jets, number 2. Dolphins take the top tackle in this class. The Falcons go Farley with the corner. That's maybe a surprise. And then back-to-back receivers, Jamar Chase to the Bengals at LSU, and Jalen Waddle from Bama to the Eagles. Steve says, watching with my dad, please say we're drafting Mac Jones so his head explodes. I like Mac Jones. I would not be mad if the Steelers took him. Eric says, Zach Wilson, sell the house. Trade up, go for Wilson. Who's on the clock right now? How do I see that? If I post trade, I think I have to hit first here. The lines are at 7. So what would we have to give up to get Zach Wilson? It would be a lot. And the trade is on the difficulty setting is on difficult. And I remember last time on this mock draft, we couldn't do any trade. It was really difficult to do, as the name implies. All right, we'll try it though. So let's trade with the Lions. We want pick 7. Do you think the Steelers actually would do this? Do you think Colbert would be that aggressive? I think it's possible. He's been more aggressive the last couple of years, but that'd be such a monumental shift. All right, so obviously we're giving up 24 and a next year's first. That's almost guaranteed if you're moving up 17 spots to go get a quarterback. So what else should it be? Two firsts. It's got to be something else for this year to make it worth the Lions' while. Not just going to get one pick this year, moving back 17 spots and get nothing else in this class. John, you're right. The quarterback has to play in Canada's system, but I do think, and I'll have an article on this in a couple of days. I think we've overrated how mobile a quarterback needs to be in Matt Canada's system. But I'll have an article that illustrates that probably in a week or two. Second this year, man. First and the second. Who's going to block for Zach Wilson though? I mean, what's your offensive line going to look like? I'm going to try. I'm going to try third, and then I'll do a future third. Yeah, you got Banner at left tackle, but then who's going to play center? And then is Banner going to be your guy at left tackle? And even if he is, and you have a core for at right tackle, both those guys are free agents after this year. Are you going to be able to retain both? Maybe, but probably not. And are both going to play well enough as you're expecting them to? Maybe, but chances are someone won't pan out. Benor says do a future third or fourth this year. You have a future third. Does this look like a fair offer? 4 pick 7, giving up 24, next year's first, this year's third, and next year's third. Alex D says keep it realistic and don't trade up. This just feels like I think trading up is realistic. I think it's possible. This is trading up significantly. I don't know if Colbert's ever traded up 17 spots before in the first round. I think for Troy it was like 10 to 15. Not sure he's ever gone up in this far, never into the top 10 before. All right, well, let's just. Oh, they accepted the trade. I didn't even mean to hit the trade button, but that works. All right, we're on the clock. I'll take it. Wasn't totally committed to it, but it's the NFL. You send in the offer, and now all of a sudden you have the offer. Yeah, Ben's about to be mad. All right, so I assume you guys want Zach Wilson here, or do you want Trey Lance? Is there any discussion? I mean, they're cut from a somewhat similar cloth, Wilson and Lance. Strong arm talent, mobile, bigger guys. I think Wilson's on a different level than Lance, and there's more of a resume. But Wilson really didn't come on the radar until this year, and Lance is a 1-year guy. Zach Wilson, yeah, Benor, the North Dakota State Pro Day is, I think, on what day is it? Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's Thursday, and so very interested to see if there's any Steeler representation there because you have Trey Lance and you also have the tackle Dylan Radunes. I think that's how you say his last name. Who had a really good week in Mobile, both tackle and guard. Really impressive guy. Wilson. If Hayden wants Devonta Smith, we cannot trade up all that to get Devonta Smith. Vontae Mack, no matter what. I was just watching Draft Day clips last night. That was such a bad movie. That's one of the worst football movies ever. All right, I think it has to be for Zach Wilson. So we're going to have to probably trade back at the second round pick to acquire some more picks because we got a lot of holes to fill. But we know who we're taking right here, right? We're on the clock. What am I doing here? There we go. Now I have to hit resume. Matt Canada would prefer who? Here's the thing. I don't know what quarterback the Steelers are going to like or do like or won't like. Aside from the occasional report on Kyle Trask, which, again, let's hope not, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I have no information. I think they like Najee Harris. I think that's kind of been reported, and you can really make that obvious connection. But beyond that, I don't know how they feel about Mac Jones or Trey Lance or any of these quarterbacks. All right, so we took Zach Wilson at number 7, moving all the way up to 7, trading with Detroit, who took Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher. Yeah, is there any chance these quarterbacks fall? I mean, we kind of expect them to go top 5 with Lawrence and Wilson and Fields. But if somebody slips, I mean, you never know. Yeah, Eric, I don't know why PFF hates Najee Harris that much. I think Russell Wilson would fit in most offenses. If Najee falls to you in the second, take him. I think I want to trade back out of that second round spot to get some extra picks because we need them. We just gave up, a third this year. We give us some future picks next year too. But here's the first round. Kyle Pitts lasting all the way to 12 to the 49ers. Devonta Smith goes to the Giants. Trey Lance goes to the Patriots. So they get their quarterback. Mac Jones, number 20. If Mac Jones would have fallen to 20 in real life in that area, man, I would strongly consider trading up for him. ETN goes to Jacksonville at 25. Has Harris been taken? Does not look like Najee Harris has been taken. J.C. Horn, the corner from South Carolina, last pick of the first round to the Bucks. All right, let's go to round two. Already getting trade offers here from Buffalo and the Raiders. To move down 6 spots, we'll pick up a third from Buffalo. That's not bad. We're not moving up, though. I'm not moving up with the Raiders here. So what do you guys think about this Buffalo deal? Maybe we could try to counter, get an extra pick or something. But I'll take a third. We just traded that third to move up, so now we're just moving down 6 spots to essentially recoup that third, which I think will be a little bit lower, but only a couple spots from where we were picking. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I think that's a really good deal. We're the Buffalo at the start of the round who wants to move up 6 spots just at the beginning of the second round. That feels like what's going on over there with who is that? Sean McDermott. And who's the GM? It's not Doug Whaley. Bean? Brandon Bean? Does that sound right? Anyway, counter with Buffalo. I don't know. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm not sure what else we can really give him that would make this better. I mean, we could get more, obviously, but that seems pretty fair. So I'm going to take the Buffalo deal out of the gate. Move back 6 spots, pick up that third we just gave away to Detroit. And we're just going to let this round play out. And no more trades for us right now. Yeah, that would be ideal. If you're Pittsburgh and you do move up for a quarterback, let's say hypothetically, then I think you have to trade back with whatever assets you have left to get some more ammunition. And that's kind of how you even things out. And you give up future picks because you should get a good deal of comp picks because you lose Dupree, potentially Juju, Villanueva, etc. You're going to have a lot of draft picks next year. So that should make you feel more comfortable about being aggressive in moving up for a quarterback. But Nora likes the draft. I think we're doing better than last time already. Are we on the clock? We are. All right. Let's see who all has been taken. Shimonte Williams. I like Eskridge. I was watching the tackle, Jalen Moore, last couple of days. Had the profile on him go up on Steelers Depot this morning. But Eskridge caught my eye. Reminds me a lot of Deontay Johnson. A little bit faster in terms of open field speed. Leatherwood lasted all the way to 51. Wow. Cost me. Goes to the Patriots. I like their draft. Lance and Cosme, Tevin Jenkins would be a good fit for Pittsburgh to play right tackle. He's a real mauler in the run game, and I'm a big fan of Eichenberg as well. Is Najee Harris? No, Najee Harris. I thought he was going to drop. Got excited for a second. He goes top of the second round to the Falcons. So that's the second round to this point. Yeah, Najee went to the Falcons at 35. Eric, I expect Waller to be re-signed, and he should come back as a nose tackle. Creed Humphrey says Paul Brown. Yeah, let's take a look at the board here. Creed Humphrey, center. Be a good replacement for Marquise Pouncey. How about Amon-Ra St. Brown? Kind of, Juju-ish clone to an extent. Big, tough, physical slot receiver. I could see that really being a fit in Pittsburgh. Top centers, Creed Humphrey. I love Landon Dickerson. Jackson, if you wanted to move to more of a zone scheme, he'd be a fit. Trey Hill out of Georgia. Big center, 6'4", 330. Watching some Morrissey right now, but obviously he's not a candidate for where we're picking. Running back, Kenneth Gainwell. Jamar Jefferson. Ramondre Stevenson's interesting, or Josh Carney did the report on him. I liked what he wrote about Stevenson. Let's look at tackles. Someone asking if Radunes was on the board. He should be. I'm not seeing him listed though. Is he listed as a guard? I don't know where he's at. Maybe he was taken. Fred's asking if Dickerson could slide to round 3. If the medical is, there's a lot more uncertainty there, yes, but I don't think Dickerson will last because someone's going to be comfortable with the medical. His rehab for that ACL seems to be going well, and the talent's too strong, I think, for him to probably slip to round 3. So I think you have to look at offensive line here. Running back potentially, but I think you have to start up front. I think you build your team inside out. Walker Little from Stanford, he has barely played the last 2 years. Didn't play in 2020, opted out, got hurt week 1 in 2019 with a knee injury. So you're kind of basing it off a 2018 tape. But had he stayed healthy, he probably would have been in that first round discussion with the other, half dozen tackles in this class. Eli, we traded up to pick 7 with the Lions to get Zach Wilson. So that's how we did that. But no, I don't like Spencer Brown. We have the report on him coming up in a day or two, but I thought he had a really rough week at the Senior Bowl. And maybe that's because he hadn't played, probably didn't play it all this year, but I thought he really struggled. Top heavy dude. Get someone for the offensive line. Yeah, so I think we're coming down to top offensive lineman. There's Josh Myers from Ohio State, Creed Humphrey, or Landon Dickerson. So those are the 3 guys. You guys tell me, you guys make this pick. Humphrey, Dickerson, or Myers, who's listed as a guard, but has really played center at Ohio State. I've heard good things about Jamon Davis. I haven't watched him myself, but I heard he could be a sleeper off-ball linebacker. Creed. Feels like a Rocky movie. Everyone's saying Creed. I like Dickerson a lot, though, too. All right, everyone's telling me Creed Humphrey for the most part. All right, we're going to go Creed Humphrey, pair him with Zach Wilson. Now, he's a left-handed snapper. I don't know if that's going to matter to anybody, but we're going to take him. And look at the rest of the round. There goes St. Brown. I think 1 pick after ours to Green Bay. They finally take a receiver. And Shelvin, big guy up front, goes to the Bucks. Yeah, Dickerson, if there were no medical concerns, he's probably first center off the board. He's a first round talent for sure. But the ankle and the ACLs are going to push him down. All right, 3rd round. We do have a pick because we traded back with Buffalo. I didn't see who Buffalo took, but who cares? Quick look at the top of the board here. You got the edge guy from Pitt, Patrick Jones. Richie Grant had a good Senior Bowl week. Gainwell is one of my favorite dudes. Browning's a pretty polarizing prospect. But whatever you trade for pick 7, we gave up this year's first, obviously, this year's 3rd, next year's first, next year's 3rd. Yeah, I'm a big Eichenberg fan as well. Slide red. I compare him to Joe Staley. That's how much I like that guy. All right, we're going to start the round. I'm not going to do any sort of trade ups. Let's let the round play out. Do we take running back? Do we go edge? Someone had mentioned that earlier about, is edge a possibility? See what's on the board for us. If Gainwell's there, it can be tough to pass up Dickerson. He goes 73. Yeah, there goes Gainwell to the Jets. It's a good fit. And Rodgers to the Lions. Steelers reportedly had some interest in St. Juste. And here's a bunch of trade offers. Wow. A lot of big this is maybe more quantity over quality here. Far Lap say no more running back. I don't know who's going to be a starting running back. We're assuming James Conner's gone here. It's a lot of picks from the Chiefs, getting 2 4s, a 5th and a 6th from the Pats, 2 4s, all the worst 4s, a 5 and a 7. So the Chiefs have the better deal. They're better than what the Patriots are offering slightly, but still better. What do you want to do here? That is a fairly moving down basically around though. And I can't really see what's on the board right now. So should we take the Chiefs deal? We're not taking the Patriots. It's not better than Kansas City. Yeah, I don't think it'll really let me see who's on the board. Someone's asking that there, Jaheim. Kylan Hill, yeah, Mississippi State kid. He got stuck in that Mike Leach air raid offense, but he's got good hands and he runs hard. Keep your pick. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you guys. I'm gonna keep the pick. All right. What do we have at running back? We got Jefferson, Stevenson. There's Kylan Hill, Trace Sermon, Hubbard. Buca Williams had a really good pro day. Pro days are starting. Kansas had theirs on the 5th. He had a really impressive workout. Don't think the Steelers were there. They said about a dozen teams were there. I tried to look. Information was kind of scarce. I don't believe Pittsburgh was there. Also, Jared Patterson from Buffalo. I gave him a Devin Singletary comp. More quick than fast. Ton of production, though. Wait for a running back. Yeah, I don't know if there's a running back I like enough to take here in the 3rd round. So let's see what else is available. Looking at edge guys, Basham's more of a hand-down interior chess piece. I like Tryon. He was in my last Steelers mock draft I did for Steelers Depot. Opted out this past year, but had a really impressive 2019 season. Our Tom Mead gave him a 3rd round grade, so this kind of fits well. Someone's asking tight end. That's a good point. Not looking great though. Hunter Long, I'm not crazy about him. He's well rounded, but doesn't do anything well. Yaboa, I wasn't crazy about his tape, although Colbert apparently has some interest in him, so that's a name to certainly watch. Bates, some of these blocking tight ends are interesting, but this tight end class has talent at the top with Pitts and Fryermuth, but the depth is pretty shallow. Check corner, that's a good point. Sean Wade is still there. He had a rougher 2020. Campbell, I like Taylor from Washington as an outside corner. But I'm thinking edge because what is behind? Assuming Dupree's gone, which I think is a very safe assumption. What is behind Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt? Not much. Another offensive lineman says Tyler, Eli. Another offensive lineman. Okay. Who do we like though? Hudson. I like Hainsey, but he's probably gonna kick inside. Maybe even play center. I saw somebody say he may end up at center. Is there someone worth taking there though? John, we took Creed Humphrey, so we have our center. I'm thinking edge here. Let me just kind of go through the positions though. Hudson. Yeah, I need to watch more of James Hudson. I've seen a couple of clips, but I haven't actually studied him yet. But that is true. Who your tackle is going to be, and we're getting kind of close to where you're accepting Banner and a core for are going to be your starting tackles. And again, what are you going to do for next year, even if things go well this year? Slide. This is FanSpeak. This is FanSpeak's mock draft simulator. I have the premium version where you can do trades and all that fun stuff. Hudson. People are saying James Hudson. Should we take James Hudson? Or should it be edge? No, St. Jude went, I think, in the 2nd round. Look at the linebackers. Look at the off-ball guys. Got Davis, Wallow, Fields. I think is a sleeper out of West Virginia. Wouldn't take him now though. Obviously, Dylan Moses. Did he have injury concerns? Am I wrong on that? I don't think there's any sort of consensus right now on who we should take. Anything at guard? Hmm. Not really. Deontay Brown's listed pretty low here, but I wasn't a fan of his tape. Defensive line, Marvin Wilson. Not a lot of real 5-tech options here, but Wilson's probably one of the best of the group. I like Trayon a lot, though. I think he would fit Pittsburgh well. He's a big dude, but 6'3", 260, 265, somewhere in there. Trey Smith, I don't know. Smith's going to be a guard, so where are you going to play him? You got the Castro, you have Dotson. Maybe Smith takes over next year. If the Castro's gone, he's in the last year of his contract, but I wouldn't take a guard right now. If you're going to take a lineman, you're going to take a tackle. Okay, Moses had surgery. There's always a linebacker from Bama who has injury concerns every single year. Some talented, athletic linebacker who's got some medical concerns. I'm thinking edge. I think we got to get some depth here. So somebody said Perkins. So Perkins or Tryon is how I'm gonna narrow this one down for you guys, and you can choose from there. And then maybe we go offensive tackle next round. I'll show you guys the tackles again, but I think I want to go edge here. I mean, the tackle class, it's Hudson or bust. Because Hainsey, I think, is a guard. Christensen might kick inside. And from there, the talent level drops off. Moore is not a round three guy to me, or he's borderline. I know there's some buzz about Deontay Smith. Basham, I don't know if Basham is going to fit this scheme. Is an edge guy? It's kind of a 4-3 end, kick him inside and sub packages. I don't know much about Perkins, though. And then at running back, there just wasn't a lot there right now. Maybe next round running back. All right, I'm gonna trust you guys on Perkins because I do not honestly know much about Ronnie Perkins right now. But a couple of you guys were saying that, so we're gonna go Ronnie Perkins here, third round. There goes Bashman, Moses, Sean Wade. There goes Tryon. All right, so we took Ronnie Perkins. So that was what you guys wanted. So on to the fourth round. Got two picks in the fourth round. I think we got to address running back at this point. Kind of the classic Steelers mid-round running back: Benny Snell, Jalen Samuels, James Conner, McFarland. Watch Perkins versus Oklahoma State. Okay, I will. All right, so we're picking 23rd. There goes Jefferson, the best running back on the board. And there goes James Hudson to Mike Munchak and the Broncos. Stevenson goes, and now we got some trade offers. This is for our second fourth round pick, not our pick at number 23 in the round. Jacksonville offering a 5 and a 7. Seattle has the better deal of a 5 and a 6. Should we take Seattle's offer? Yeah, Eli, Daz Newsom's a guy we should talk about more. If Juju does walk, I know I fixate and talk about Mari Rogers quite a bit, but Daz Newsome, I think, is a name to watch in the slot as well. Let's see. Eli says to decline it. Should we decline this deal? Everyone's saying no. Okay, we'll decline it. That's probably the right decision. Got to go back. I think offense here. We got Kylan Hill, got Trey Sermon, who I think would be a fit. Just in terms of what the Steelers look for and like, that makes a lot of sense. Let's look at offensive line. Still have yet to take a tackle. Again, our picks here: Zach Wilson traded up for from 24 to 7. Then Creed Humphrey, that does address center. Hopefully the run game. And Perkins, the edge rusher. Sermon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too with Trey Sermon. That is going to follow the Rooney mandate of improving the run game. Maybe makes Ben a little bit happier about things after taking Zach Wilson at pick 7. He's probably not too thrilled about that. All right, we'll make this a pretty quick selection here. We'll take Trey Sermon. Got another pick coming in a couple selections. How did Kyle Trask went all the way to the fourth round? Wow, I didn't realize he was still on the board. He goes to the Saints. Try to replace Drew Brees. Is Davis still there? I think so. Nope. Actually, I think Jamon Davis is gone. All right, round 4. Do we go offensive tackle? There's Jalen Moore. I wrote up today, compared him to Donald Stevenson. That's kind of a Chooks vibe as well. A little bit shorter, a little bit smaller. But replaced him at left tackle at Western Michigan. Yeah, let's look at receiver. Take Dax Maline, Wilson's teammate. Receiver is looking kind of thin right now, though. I like Cornell Powell, or Josh Carney has a report on him that kind of maybe want to look at Powell a bit more. The receiver is not looking great right now. Again, for Pittsburgh, there's just so many holes to fill. You feel like, receiver and edge and tackle and center and obviously feature of the quarterback position, running back, slot corner, depending what happens with Hilton and Sutton. As the Pirates go up 12-1, wish you could play the Orioles every game. Eli says take a guard. Deontay Brown is still there, but he's not going to start this year. It's fourth round, so a lot of these guys may not start. I think you have to go tackle though. I think you got to give yourself at least some depth, worst case scenario, because even if again Banner and a core four are your tackles, your starting tackles, who's your backup? Where is your depth at right now? Check safeties and tight ends. Not a lot at safety right now. Tight end, I'm guessing is pretty thin. Your boy, Yabo, I think it's Yaboa. That's how you say it. Yeah, I wrote up Tommy Doyle the other day. I think he's an interesting guy. Potential even, I think, late day 2 candidate. We could go Yaboa, or I think we go a tackle like maybe a Jalen Moore, Adrian Ely. What do you guys think here? Here's the big board. Nixon's still there. Kylan Hill. We just took Sermon, obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna say your boy a lot by mistake. I think because I just whenever see that, that's just kind of where my mind goes to. What do you guys think? I think back to the offensive line. I would like to take a tackle here. I don't know much about a couple of these top guys though. Defensive line. Take a look at it. Best player available. Yeah, it's a fair point. Who would be the best player available though? Who you asking about? Eric Brown. Not sure who you're referring to. Need a tight end. Yeah, but I think I would prefer to wait on a tight end, get one of these blocking types. I think Sean Bayer from Iowa might be that interesting guy. I don't want to call him George Kittle, but underutilized guy that's a better athlete than people can give him credit for, but also a good blocker. Josh Ball out of Marshall. I think I'm going to go with Jalen Moore. I think there's something to work with there as a run blocker. I think he's pretty average to below average, but he's a good athlete, and I think he's got a home at left tackle in the NFL. So I'm going to go with Jalen Moore. I think we took Doyle last time in the previous mock draft. All right, so now we're waiting a while till round 6. Should we try to trade up in some sort of move? We already gave away 2 picks next year, though, so I think trading up is going to be difficult. But what do you guys think? 'Cause we do not pick right now in the 5th round, and we pick in the 6th round with the 31st selection. So we're waiting a long time. Should we potentially package a 6 and a 7 and try to move up maybe late 5 or earlier into the 6th round? Chris says, I'd lose my mind with happiness if we got Wilson. Yeah, I do not expect that to happen, but it happens here. Stay. Everyone stay. We've still yet to take, let's see, we've not taken a corner, inside or outside. No receiver. Have to take one of those. You have to take a tight end. And you guys know my whole soapbox about drafting a tight end. That's not happening this year, at least not anywhere high in the draft. All right, we're going to start the round. Still a lot of holes to address. So that's why, I'm never really opposed to trading down. Now, that's always easier said than done, but just get more picks, have more options, throw more darts at the dartboard, give yourself a better chance to be right. Only one time, though, has Kevin Colbert ever traded down. Do you guys know the one time, in the first round at least, that Kevin Colbert has moved down? What year and for what player they ultimately took was? So I kind of scroll down here. It was Jackson and Newman. Hubbard to the Bills. Yeah, Eric, we could have taken that package we got offered from I think the Chiefs, but I didn't mind staying there. I wanted to get a good player there. All right, that's the end of the 5th round. And the answer to the trivia question, by the way, the only time Kevin Colbert has moved down in the first round was in 2001. Moved down 3 spots, ended up taking Casey Hampton. Big snack. Only time he's done it. Moved up a couple of times for Troy, for Holmes, and for Bush. Only moved down once. Most years he stays at a spot. All right, round 6. We're not going to make any moves here. No trades. Just going to see what comes to us. Yeah, it was a good move. They only got back, I think, for Hampton like a 4th or 5th round pick. I mean, it was just 3 spots, but still got their guy and all worked out. Thanks for being here. 100 people in the chat. Appreciate that. All right, we are on the clock. Here are our picks so far: Zach Wilson, Creed Humphrey, Ronnie Perkins, Trey Sermon, Jalen Moore. Typically for Pittsburgh, they try to balance these drafts out, so it's not going to be where 7 guys on offense go and only one on defense, or vice versa. So I'm thinking defense here. Only taken one defensive player so far with our first 5 picks. That was Ronnie Perkins, the edge out of Oklahoma. Sean Davis in Florida kind of showed up on tape for me a little bit, though I think this is still maybe a touch early to take him. Corners, you guys may have to help me out with the day 3 corners, because I do not know much about the names on screen right now. Took an edge already. Off-ball linebackers. I like Stewart as a Medikevich type of guy. Same with Tough Borland from Ohio State. Defensive line. Taquan Graham from Texas. One of the few kind of like 4-eye, 5-techs in this class. So what do you guys think? Paul Brown's not a fan of Sean Davis. Okay, fair enough. Already taking an edge. So I'm thinking probably something in the secondary. So what do you guys think? What DB should we select? Grab Lenore. He's great in the slot. Okay, is he like the Hugo Amadi kid from Oregon 2 3 years ago? Is punter on the table? I just like well, doesn't have a punter available, so I guess it's not on the table. Nor kicker. It's kind of weird. Um, Maybe, but I don't know if I could draft a punter right now based on all the other needs. And Barry had a career year last year when they brought him back. Hamlin, yeah, I've heard Hamlin's a really smart guy. Is Schwartz available? You have to take a receiver. I don't think Schwartz is available. Steelers reportedly had a interview with him. Did not love his tape though. Lenore. All right, we're gonna go. I don't even know how to say that name, but we'll go Lenore out of Oregon. Yeah, we'll go maybe receiver in the 7th round. But I want to go defense here. And again, that's the thing. I mean, you feel like receiver could be a huge need if Juju's gone, and yet we haven't taken. Now, granted, we did trade up for Wilson, but we got back the 3rd round picks. We actually didn't really end up giving up a whole lot. All right, we're gonna go 7th round here. Got 2 picks, only 9 picks apart. Go ahead and start the round. Probably go 1 offense, 1 defense here. That's my game plan at least. So we'll do these mock drafts every couple of weeks. Certainly will not be the last one. And if you guys, this is a little late to ask, but if you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, that would always help me out, and I'd appreciate that. All right, we are on the clock. See who the best names available are. I got to get more familiar with the day 3 guys. That's why I wish the combine was around this year, because I can really learn more about these guys in that process. Receiver, let's start there. Got the kid from Notre Dame, but he's not a slot guy. He's more of an outside guy. Basher's like 6'6". Noah Gray, yeah, tight end. Noah Gray. Oh wow, Bayer's gone too from Iowa. That probably would have been my pick. Luke Farrell. Bushman's interesting guy. Maybe a bit of a sleeper at tight end. Poljan, I didn't like Poljan's tape, to be honest with you. Just kind of a big, uncoordinated guy. Brandon Smith from Iowa. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Matt Bushman here. I need to learn a little bit more about him, but I saw a tweet thread from maybe I think it was Ben Fennell yesterday, the other day. Had some good things to say, and I want to take a tight end here. All right, coming up here with our last pick of the seventh round. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad you liked it. And our last pick here, should it be a receiver? Again, what's really available right now? Not a lot. This is the guy. Someone's asking about the SMU guy. I don't know anything about him right now. Just kind of clicking through, see if any names stick out. Just finding talents. A couple of good tackles out there. Deontay Smith, Adrian Ely. I still like Sean Davis from Florida. Stewart from Houston. I think that's a solid seventh round pick right there. Good special teams player. Yeah, that's what Skeegee's saying with Stewart. I think that kind of fits that well. Take a flyer on Smith. Yeah, I've already taken a couple tackles. I mean, probably from a value standpoint, but I don't think he's actually going to fall to the seventh round. Can I go all? Yeah, I can, Gabriel. Kind of scroll through the list for you guys. I like Sean Davis though from Florida. That's where I'm leaning right now. Because I mean, there isn't a ton of depth. I mean, there is Antoine Brooks, but I don't know if Sean Davis is going to come back. More edge depth. No, I'm okay with the edge depth right now. I mean, you do have Highsmith, Watt, Perkins. I assume that some form or fashion, Martian, Adaney will come back. Adaney won't get tendered as an RFA. They'll probably redo the deal, a 1 year contract, not worth the original round tender that's going to cost 2.6 million. They cannot afford that right now. Keep scrolling here on the full list. I think I'm down to Grant Stewart, the linebacker from Houston, undersized guy, but hair on fire, special teams player, or Sean Davis from Florida. He's got good size, physical. Oh, you cringe at the name, not the player Sean Davis, because the current. Yeah, I could replace the exiting Sean Davis with an incoming Sean Davis, spelled differently, but same name. I don't know if anyone has any strong feelings on Stewart versus Davis. I'm not sure if I have strong feelings on that either, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with Stewart. That's kind of fun. All right. So that's going to finish up the draft here. Last couple picks coming in. Who is going to be Mr. Irrelevant? Oh, I got an error from Fanspeak to save the draft. That's okay. Yeah, I think Stewart would be a really good day three pick. Just not as well. Metakevich wasn't big. I don't. He doesn't quite remind me of Metakevich in terms of the style of play, but just special teams value. A dude that's going to make your roster and hang around for his rookie contract. I think he's going to be that kind of guy. All right, so to recap, here are our picks. Moving all the way up from 24 to 7, the blockbuster trade because he fell. Zach Wilson, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see you starting in 2022. Paul says, live stream of the draft. Yeah, maybe, but I couldn't stream the actual draft because of copyright. And then, of course, I'm working for Steelers Depot, so it is kind of hard to do that. Round two, we took Creed Humphrey, center at Oklahoma, so addressing Marquise Pouncey's replacement immediately out of the gate. Round three, because we traded back in round two. What do we do? Trying to remember. Yeah, we know we traded down, a couple spots with Buffalo to pick up a third. We took Ronnie Perkins, the edge at Oklahoma. Round four, the running back, Trey Sermon from Ohio State. Other fourth round pick, Jalen Moore, the tackle from Western Michigan. Round six, Lenore, the apparently good slot corner from the Ducks. And then round seven, Matt Bushman, tight end from BYU. And Grant Stewart, the linebacker from Houston. Yeah, F4. I think you get Your quarterback of the future, just the biggest thing of all. If you get your quarterback of the future, all the other issues can be managed and are on a rookie deal, so you'll have money next year to spend. You get your starting center. Is Sermon your starting running back? It would feel very much committee-ish between McFarland and Snell and Sermon. So I don't know if we've really fixed the running back position, but if you improve that offensive line, then that hopefully fixes your running back position, kind of naturally. And then hopefully get a tackle and more, some depth there. Maybe he's ready to start in 2022. Lenore, we'll see. And a couple, I think, of well-worthy flyers in Bushman and Stewart. I haven't given up on Benny Snell, but he's not going to be your number one feature back. I like Benny Snell, probably more than most people, but he's not your feature back. Look at the trades we did two of them. Again, here's what we gave up to get Zach Wilson at 7, which I think, if realistically, if that's what you had to give up to get Zach Wilson or any top quarterback, that's fine with me. Giving up 24, a future first, next year's first, this year's third, next year's third to get number 7. But we recoup some of that with Buffalo. Move down 6 spots to pick up a third. So essentially for Wilson, we gave up basically this year's first, next year's first, and next year's third. To move up 17 spots to get Zach Wilson, I think it's a steal. No brainer. Even if it doesn't work out, it's still a good idea. Eric's saying, can we get some Coastal Carolina profiles before the draft? CJ Marble and Taryn Jackson. Maybe. I got to find some Coastal Carolina tape. I'm sure there's a couple of games out there, but not a lot, I'm sure. I'll hang out here for a couple minutes. You guys want to ask any just Steelers questions? Feel free. We only went about 50 minutes on the draft itself. Kind of scroll through, see how other teams drafted. Let's see what the Browns did here. Surratt apparently did not run a strong 40 time at the unofficial combine. I think he ran in the 4.7s. Buca Williams in the 3rd round. I think Williams is going to be a later day 3 guy. This running back class is strong. So I think Williams opted out at 2020. So that's going to hurt him too. So I don't think he's going to be a day 2 kind of guy. Paul, you just have to kind of know the right people. I really can't talk about where we get some of that all 22 tape from. But, it's just on the underground. Eli, realistic, who do you think we should get at 24? Because I don't think we will be able to trade up for a quarterback. I mean, it could go in a million different ways. I think Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama, might be the most realistic option to talk about right now. If you want to go tackle, there's going to be a host of them, whether you're talking potentially Tevin Jenkins, Alex Leatherwood, Liam Eichenberg. I mean, you could talk about all of the top tackles there. Center, I think you could still potentially take Creed Humphrey. I think that's less likely, but possible. Same with Landon Dickerson if you were comfortable with the medical side of things. Receiver could even be in play if Juju does walk. Probably not, but I'm not going to discount it entirely. It could go in a lot of different ways. Zaven Collins from Tulsa would be a great scheme fit. Is he your biggest need? No, but it's a great scheme fit. Thanks so much, Eric. I appreciate it. See what Baltimore did. They took Bateman out of Minnesota. Get some receiver help. Looks like they're going to lose Willie Snead, or at least may lose Willie Snead here in the offseason. That's what they did. And then the Bengals, Jamar Chase at 5, and they took Jalen Collins, or Zaven Collins, I should say, in round 2. So a nice top of the draft for the Bengals. Gabar, I like Trey Hill from Georgia. Not at 24, but I would take him as early as round 2 at pick number 55. I think he's a big physical run blocker. That's what Pittsburgh's looking for. John, I agree with on the depth at safety. There is not a lot there. Now, there is Antoine Brooks Jr., who I think got some reps and showed some promise. It's kind of a slot backer type of guy, so we don't want to forget about him. But behind Minka, not a lot. Dave tweeted out Juju's mom's reaction to Juju being uninterested in re-signing. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, that was from Bob Labriola, who said it was unlikely to happen. Now, I don't know if he's just reading the tea leaves there or not. But, Labriola, obviously an inside source to an extent, and usually kind of has a good feel for how these things are going to go. So that was noteworthy, I think, when the Steelers guy's saying something. Yeah, Gabar. Yeah, Trey Hill 24. No, but round 3 for sure. I'd take him. I still think there's a chance Juju comes back. I don't want to completely discount it. Um, we'll see where the cap comes in at and where his market's going to be at. The top picks here: Trevor Lawrence number one, Fields number two. Fake news. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll find out pretty quickly in about a week from now, 'cause that's when the tampering period begins. No, I wouldn't move Terrell Edmonds to linebacker. Some late round receivers. I still want to explore that some more. Eskridge from Western Michigan. I'm watching right now. I don't know if he's a late round guy, but maybe a mid round guy. Daz Newsome from North Carolina. Another name. Talk about. I don't know if I can pull up a list of receivers here. Can I? I mean, yeah, Edmonds is a box guy, but he's not actually going to move to linebacker the way that, say, Marcus Allen did. Check out rest of the first round here for you guys. Any position changes you want to expect? I don't think so. None come to mind. Michael Parsons, local kid, Penn Stater, going to the Colts at 21. Any players we should profile on Steelers Depot we haven't profiled already? We're up over, I think, 100 profiles so far, which is awesome. Terrific job by the Steelers Depot team. Yeah, Eric, you want to look at the Shane kid from SMU? Okay, we'll try. Probably later, won't happen super soon. It'll be late in the process. And again, be sure to follow us, Steelers Depot. Follow our Facebook page, just Steelers Depot, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes. We're gonna do an Alex Highsmith season in review in the next couple of days. I asked you guys in a poll who we should look at next, and you guys voted for Highsmith. So we'll recap, review his rookie season. All right, Eric, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. I think Edmonds would do okay at linebacker. He'd be worried about just size and getting overpowered and washed out. But I'm comfortable with the strides he's made at strong safety, and again, he's going to play in the box a lot. If you moved him, then who are you replacing him at strong safety with? Here's the concern, though, with the safety situation is, Edmonds rarely plays center field because obviously he's not best in that kind of space. So what they were doing a lot last year on third down because they don't want to stick Minka just in center field as the free safety, as the post safety, because then quarterbacks just don't throw anywhere near him and he can't impact the game as much in terms of interception splash plays. And so they were rotating often Mike Hilton or even more often Cam Sutton to the deep middle and playing center field. But knowing that it's very likely that one of Hilton or Sutton are gone, you're gonna have less flexibility there. Where you could play dime and Sutton was the dime guy and he was basically playing a lot of safety and Mika was coming down to play, basically robber coverage in zone. And so losing, Hilton or Sutton, and so are you deep in dime anymore? And you have somebody that you could play in center field and let Minka play down more. That's a concern there. It's a random thought, but that is a concern I have because they were using that dime guy, Sutton, as your free safety a lot last year on third down. Paul, thanks for being here. Robert says trading up is pointless. Well, I don't know. I think we did an okay job. We still got a starting center. Even though we traded up for Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson wouldn't start this year anyway, so you would still have time to invest in offensive line for 2022. So I think actually it works out pretty well. Now Ben's not going to be happy about it, but what are you going to do? All right, guys. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up today's stream. Appreciate you guys hanging out here on this Sunday with me. Again, be sure to keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we can see some new Steelers content. And certainly once free agency begins, there'll be more videos reacting to whatever moves the team does or does not make in free agency. It still should be a pretty busy, eventful time, even if Pittsburgh will not be big players in free agency. There'll still be a couple of signings and the guys they lose and where they go and all that's going to be really exciting. So appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.